no creme say mo say mo nya abotre na mo koto abasa de moto kane na ma repeat mistake cause o man no bleedi adwuma efo so bleedi no kwasa na me ka kire we me fa me ho hate party A ni party B enye wo busu ejapade ti ye kama ye nka na wo man no ya ye late sebi wo mo kasa pie so kakra bi no mo ye na yo mo be ye no so cry fake the second coming of Nkroma na Kwame Bediako ye soroma o hyeren enti Ghana man ye ti sumu na se wo se wo be ma ye
Very well. Pleasure to meet you. My wife, Ruby.
Good morning, Mr. Kwame Bediako, popularly known as Cheddar, independent presidential candidate, and to your lovely wife as well and your team. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the Commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead-up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, as in 2020, the Commission has established 2 teams which have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the candidate meets the requirements as set out by law, namely, that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, and I hope you are,
Yes, please.
that he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, amongst others. The second team, namely the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to ensure that the candidates are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and have been oriented to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided prior to 2020, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this would help to eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized nomination processes prior to the 2020 election. I welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission once again, and thank you for personally coming to submit your nomination forms this morning. As the returning officer for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election, I will now receive your forms. Your forms will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny by our teams. I'd like to assure you that our teams will go to work immediately on your forms and will contact you within the shortest possible time to inform you of the decision arrived at. I'd like to thank you for your time, And may God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
Chairperson, these are our nomination forms from our various supporters from all the districts across the country. So we have in each booklet any 4 sets, at the place of 4, signed by all, signed by the Presidencial, Florence, his vice, and all other requirements that are needed to meet these conditions have been done. Attached, we have also the pictures of our presidential leader, and the pictures of the look and the draft, which is very, very important. The 100,000 is attached. So, Madam Chairperson, we are glad to submit this one this morning. And I'll take the opportunity to officially hand over the forms to you for the necessary actions with that. Thank you.
This is start on again. The flicks of the camera.
Thank you.
I want to say that democracy works in this country, and we appreciate that very much. That for us to have the right to be a part of our national governance gives us hope that this future can be built, not by foreigners, but by citizens of this country. And that alone gives me hope to be a Ghanaian. I'm proud to be one. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank you, Jane Mensah. This job is not just for a woman, but you have proven yourself that you're a woman with strength to lead a nation. For us to go through this moment, this election is a tough one. It's a lot of tension, and I pray that God gives you the strength, the willpower, and the great knowledge and wisdom to be able to help your country to go through this moment. And let there be peace, let there be love, let there be understanding, and let us build our country together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegation, coming with the Kwame, Bediako. At this point, we bring the receipt of nomination to an end. I would like to thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The campaign is good, and I must say that Ghanaians have been very much embracing. I am proud to be a Ghanaian, and I feel good to stand for the people of this nation. I know that we can build a better country by us, from us, and therefore I want to say that it's not just going to take the campaign to make this, but it's going to take the people of this country to decide and make this a better place.
One of the requirements in the form is for you to name your vice president. Will you tell us who this person is?
I would when the time is right. Like you always know, we unveil. So don't worry. Keep waiting. When the mask comes off, you will see that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a moon seven by na mask in the seven. I'm a woman so. Be a ba boko. Some of them manifesto with the Abramo. Yamupi, I mean, the Abramo. Some moon say the Panamusha demo, so much as a hino much road. But we were dumb, and I'm going to pass over Dimachi. But Omina Beba, Peter Beba, John Beba, Paul Beba, Omina be Yomuti. Timpercent Tremo said, next mask now Mubehuno, Mubehu vice president, Mubehu economist, Mubehu Crofwaya, the Omoba, the 12 apostolic governors, Omina be Yomuti, and at the new 6 in Sono, almost so bad. Who said in the 1950s and the 60s, na akandifoɔ ɔmo wɔ kurom ha saa na ɔmo hyehyɛ ɔmo ɔmo yiyi nipa a ɔmo betumi de ɔmo atoto industries bi ano ɛna baabi a ehia sɛ yɛde yɛadwene kɔ hɔ mɔ na ɔmo de hɔ ahyɛ ɔmo nsa nti ɛno nso na new force yɛyɛ.
That's it.
Finally, no Uber commission about to say oil bar and what me distinguish the home for this process and this work. Say na be kan wa fa be chi wa fa.
Oh, me free sɛ adwuma wei a ɔbaa etimi ayɛ no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛbɔ n'aba so sɛbi kurom a yɛmfa mba ngyina baabi ɛsɛ sɛ yɛde ɔmo gyina nti ɛnɛ na mepɛ sɛ me ankasa nso meka ɛwɔ n'asɛm mu kyerɛ no sɛ adwuma no nyɛ easy adwuma ɛnyɛ ɛbɛrima koraa no bi ntimi nyɛ nti ɔbaa a watimi akura ɔman yi a ɔkorakora no kakra no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛtimi ɛbɔ n'aba so na yɛma no gyina hɔ yie na yɛtaa n'akyi na nea ɔmo yɛ no nea ɔyɛ no nso no ɛtimi ayɛ na ɛde asomdwoe aba ɔman yi mu. All the people Ganyobi efe inleake nyetown Newtumo. Yes, I'm bringing it. I will make sure that it's also not only Ga, but we go to all the other regions: Ashanti, Bono, Oti, Volta, North, all the places. Asani will create Newtumo, Maya, and so I would make sure that whatever that me and the people of this country have to do together to build ourselves and create these jobs and create this wealth, that's what I'm here to do. And I ask the nation to stand behind me, and I stand with them. Thank you.